Welcome to another product review video, and in today's video we've got the Hoka Rocket X2 shoes here. Yes, I bought a new copy, and no, just for the record, and disclaimer, this video is not sponsored, nor are any of the comments or posts that I have relating to this is sponsored by Hoka in any way. So with that out of the way, let's do a little bit of an unboxing here before I get onto my interval runs that I'm going to sample this shoe out with. To start off, I've got here the big shoes as they come in right here. These are certainly a little bit different compared to the Rocket X's that I have, and I'm about to bring those shoes on in just a minute. But looking at this is a very unique, I guess this is definitely more of a synthetic upper that we have here on the upper side. And I'll just show what my other Rocket X shoes are like. These are a little bit different, of course, compared to the previous shoes from before. Just give an idea as to what it looks like. The left is the Rocket X pair that I have. The one on the right is the Rocket X2s. A little bit of a thinner design here. We've got these kind of cushioning pads on the sides. So again, I think what they did was they wanted to save a little bit of weight on the side padding here and kind of substitute it with more of the foam. This is what the undersole looks like underneath. To see what the grip is. This grip is a little different compared to the previous grip that we had. This is certainly a lot more rubberized, vulcanized, and seems to have a little bit of a better traction compared to what I had with the previous Rocket X's. You can see the carbon plate with these as well. Now, to get to some of the specs behind this shoe here, it is, as I get without, I believe this is a 5mm stack height, but it is, again, it's 8.3 ounces, which I think is about the same as the other Rocket X's. They feel about the same in terms of weight. I'd have to double check that for my previous Rocket X video. But again, that's 8.3 ounces for, I think, for a size 9. So it's going to be a little bit heavier, at least for me. It certainly, again, has definitely a lot more stack height, as you can see here, compared to the traditional Rocket X. Just putting them side by side for comparison. I think the stack height is certainly bigger here. And again, this is a very neutral shoe, so this is definitely for those that are a little bit more experienced with the running. And again, it's a very different upper. So that's kind of what it looks like from the side view, and I'll just go around to the other side here for the other shoe. And as you can see, it's a little bit, I would say this is certainly a lot more of a streamlined shoe per se. Now, what I'm going to be testing out as I do the interval running is, 1, the comfort, and 2, to see how responsive this shoe is in terms of the grip. There's certainly a little bit of a different feeling to it, and I wanted to see what this gap is going to be about, whether I can fully feel that out, as well as now that I don't really have the same heeling padding, it's only padding more or less on the sides, whether or not that's going to force a different type of strike profile, I don't know, but we are about to find out. So without further ado, let's go and take these shoes on for a run, and I'm going to take you with me on the ride here as I start to do some interval training. Let's do some real-life testing of these Hoka Rocket X2 shoes, and I will say, first impressions right now is that these are definitely bouncy and not the most stable of shoes. Let me get this going here. All right, now that we're going to start running, so I've got 10 minutes at kind of an easy pace, and then we're going to really give these shoes a rip here. But yeah, Certainly not the most stable of shoes. These are a little less stable compared to the original Rocket X's, but these have a bouncier feel to them. Now, it could be that I haven't necessarily broken them in, but I'm about to find out real quickly here as to whether or not this bounciness means that I'm going to be running faster compared to my Rocket X's. So let me get warmed up here. Gonna run along the Brook Dillon Trail on the left here, turn around at that corn post, and then I'll check back in a little bit once I'm ready to start some intervals. Okay, I'm about 20 seconds to go before I run 6-minute intervals. What first thing to say is very bouncy shoes, not the most stable, but holy cow, my first warm-up mile was 15 seconds faster than my originally intended pace for the level of effort. So, well, let's get this watch started here, shall we? And see how my body responds to going 6-minute 15 pace, which is just right around hitting that at the moment. Holy cow, like a ton of response here. But yeah, wow, this is a very bouncy, just a powerful response with these shoes here. Apologies for a little out of breath, but that's what happens when you're going 6-minute pace. But yeah, so far really nice, solid, bouncy ride. Certainly need to have good form to wear these correctly. And I've got 6 more of these intervals to do, so let me get to that and check back in a little bit. Okay, I've now done all 6 intervals, holding 6-minute 5 pace. Actually, the last one, I just said, you know what, I'm feeling good, so let me do a mile and see what I did. And 5:53 for the last rep for 1 mile, which is a world best for me, so super happy with that. But to give a little bit of a summary of what these shoes feel, I certainly have to say that there's a lot of pop in these shoes. I mean, you just want to keep moving forwards, as I am doing right now, where, I mean, I'm doing 9-minute pace at what is technically my easy pace, and it feels easier to do harder efforts. So like my Z5 effort feels like Z4 from a physical standpoint. Well, that's of course with good form, so if you don't have the best of form, results may vary, I guess is the easy way to say it. So, but yeah, these shoes are fast, I have to say, very, very fast. At first, when I started lacing these up, I was a little bit concerned that they were going to be a little bit narrow in the midfoot, but worked out okay. I think as long as you break them in, you'll be fine. Just like with any shoe, you're going to break them in, it's going to feel a little bit tight, but it'll loosen up when you go about it. I thought I was going to have a little less room in the front of the feet, but yeah, the room was there to allow me to do a little bit of a push. And then as it comes to fitting, compared to my regular Rocket X's, these Rocket X2 shoes are about the same fitting size. So for me, I wear size 11 in the regular Rocket X's, but the Rocket X2s are the same fit. So give me just a moment here while I stop the watch, now that I've done my mileage I needed to. But yeah, so overall, yeah, a very springy shoe. You definitely will feel a little bit of instability, so if you're someone that's looking for a little bit more stability, I would say go with the Bondi X's if you want something that's carbon plated. But I would say, yeah, this is definitely for those that would love to run fast, run intervals like I did, which were really fast, even for me. On 6 hours of sleep, I'm very happy with that result, but I know that might be artificial because of the shoe. So I guess they say techie shoes can help you run faster. I guess there is some truth to that. I don't know about the full science, but these shoes are definitely about 10 to 15 seconds per mile faster than my Rocket X's. These have a more lively feel to them compared to my other Rocket X's. And yeah, so that's kind of the infield test that I've done here. And we'll check back once I've cooled off a little bit and give you a little bit more of a recap. There you have it. The Hoka Rocket X2 shoes. Now I've finished cleaning up and showering and cooling off and getting some recovery in. Just wanted to provide initial thoughts and impressions on these shoes. I have to first say these are freaking fast. I ran probably my fastest mile ever in these. And so I did one last interval just to kind of see what was going to be the speed of the last mile. I was feeling really good, and yeah, I cranked my best mile ever in these. And it felt, I shouldn't say effortless, but it certainly felt like I was going on rockets. And to say that these shoes are for everyone, I would say not necessarily, but I will say that my initial concerns when it comes to some of this upper, in terms of how a little more synthetic it is, and I was a little worried about maybe potential rubbing, that didn't happen, which surprised me, and I'm very happy with it. Initially, I thought that the back parts or part of the heels here would rub a little bit. No, that didn't happen either, because I was very much a forward foot strike with these. I will also say these shoes are not as stable compared to the original Rocket X's that I had, or that I still have. And so these are going to be more dedicated race shoes. I need to still figure out how to do proper transitions in these, because it isn't just as simple as being able to pre-tighten or pre-tie these laces and tuck them in here. I actually had to go and untie them in order for me to get in this shoe a little bit more. So I'm going to have to figure that piece of it out as it comes to transitions, because I wouldn't want to be spending 20 seconds in transition in a triathlon to try to get these shoes on. So that's still a little bit of homework for me to go and figure out. I would say overall, comfort-wise, relatively comfortable shoes. A little bit better than I thought they were going to feel when just immediately rocking them out right from the box. But they have kind of broken in pretty quickly, surprisingly. And I certainly got a lot of use out of these. And again, overall, my summary here is, are these shoes good for beginners? I would say no. I would strongly encourage you to have very good running form and having good stable running form before trying these on. But if you are a relatively intermediate to advanced to an elite runner, you're going to love these. These are a little bit heavier compared to some of the other competitors, but the propulsion and the kick that you get from these is significant. And this is certainly an improvement compared to the previous iteration. So overall, I like these shoes a lot. I'm going to use these for my next race at WTCS Yokohama, as well as Escape the Cape, and hoping to rock some PRs with these. And those are my thoughts. And of course, leave a comment down below to see what you have to say about these Rocket X's. Have you gone and tried these on? I'd love to know what your thoughts and feelings are. And of course, hit that thumbs up here on the bottom left hand side of the screen. Give this video a like, and go and hit that subscribe button as well. And until the next video, I'll see you in the next one. Yoshi out.